Hey, what's poppin', y'all? It's your girl, Miss Arie 94, and you already know what it is. I'm back at it again with the back at it again with the recap. I'm back. I couldn't leave y'all hangings. Hometowns happen. You know I got the tea, so you already know what you gotta do. You got to stay tuned. Stay tuned. Alrighty, y'all, welcome back to my channel. Let's just address the obvious. This recap is up way later than I've ever done, and also y'all might notice that there's daylight, there's sunlight, so that's how you know that I'm really late. Y'all know I said I might come back. I was so irritated last week, but you know, it's just not like me to leave y'all hanging. As much as, you know, it pains me to watch and stay tuned, I'm doing it because of the love I have for all of y'all as my supporters. So again, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who continuously, you know, leaves comments, likes, and supports the videos and the recaps, and also subscribes to me, because if it was left up to me, sir, I don't need this mess. I don't. To show how appreciative I am of all of my subscribers and all of the people who have supported me thus far, I decided to do just a small giveaway. My giveaway is actually going to be a $15 Starbucks gift card. Here are the requirements. First of all, you have to be subscribed. Like, if you're not subscribed, first of all, you already know what I'm saying. What are you doing, sis? Bruh? Like, what are you doing? So, first requirement, you have to be subscribed. Second requirement, you have to have liked at least 2 of my videos. It could be any of my videos, but more likely this season's Bachelor recap. So, you have to like this video and at least another one. So, that means you have to, you know, have been a fan of some sort. I'm not giving not two videos, okay? Just 2. The third is the actual comment part. So on this video, I have 2 questions for you. The first is you have to answer what my full first name is, because y'all know me as the black girl who watches The Bachelor, but the people who know me actually know my name. Comment it down below, what is my first name? And the second is, what is my cardinal rule number 1? Now, I've mentioned this cardinal rule about 2 or 3 times in these recaps, and this will also show, if you've, you know, been keeping up, you will know what my cardinal rule number 1 is. Do all of those and you are officially entered. I'll randomly select y'all and I will announce who wins on the finale. How about that? It's time for the comment of the week. My comment of the week goes to a subscriber of mine who is usually first to these videos, who's always showing love, commenting, telling me, you know, they're first, and then they'll follow up with comments about what they thought. Like, I so appreciate you, Avalon Park. Whoever you are behind that channel, you are amazing. You actually left a comment last week that said, hello, exclamation point, first again, and you were first to last week. So thank you so much for being so loyal. Like, that means the world. Now, let's get into this recap. So y'all, we got 4 girls left, and you know it's hometowns, and who's all left is, we have Becca K, Lauren B, Kendall, and Dia. So this, we already know how we got here last week. There was, you know, a lot of dates, and 3 women went home, including 2 of the people who I've been rooting for all season. So obviously it was very hard for me to even wrap my head around wanting to continue to watch, because I just felt like, you know, when you feel like you want someone to root for, you feel like you see a strong connection or something. And up until this point, I feel like everybody who has gone home, all of the connections have gone home with them. The people who are left, I was a little skeptical, like, I don't see it. I'm not feeling it. Like, it just hasn't been really vibing with me. So my point in watching this episode, I just said to myself, let me just be non-judgmental and like try to take away my like disgust or whatever, anger with some of the women, and just try to see what the connection looks like in these relationships. So the first hometown date is actually going to be with Kendall. Now, Kendall is from LA. What we know of Kendall is she's a late bloomer. She took all of us by surprise by even getting to this point. She took me by surprise. But honestly, I kind of love it about her. You know, I was, you know, being shady at first, and she just has this character on the show of just being like this really sweet, nice person. So I said to myself, is this real? But I'm starting to see that she's very consistent with that. And it looks like that is kind of part of the reason why she's made it so far. Maybe this will be the person that I'm rooting for. She's just this dark horse, came out of nowhere. First part of this hometown is that she is going to take him to a taxidermy like place, and they are actually going to like stuff their own animals. Oh, sis, you almost had me, sis. Okay. They walk in, there's animals everywhere. Animals, just stuff, skin, taxidermy stuff. It couldn't be me. She actually tells him that they are going to be stuffing their own animals. They have 2 rat skins set out with a bunch of stuff to stuff them. Arie was looking like, rats? First of all, black people, let me not speak for all black people, but me, we don't fuck with rats. Especially if you're from a big city, like there's no way that you're gonna be stuffing. Arie's going along with it. They start stuffing the rats. She's showing him using the tools. They're putting stuff in them to make it stand. They get their rat stuff and they're, you know, doing a little play with it. They like put it on a little like stage, and the 2 rats are like getting married or whatever they're doing. Arie is really feeling her. He's kissing her over the stage. He's holding her hand. He is watching her every move. Arie is really into Kendall, and I'm just like, wow, go you, sis. Like, you are the only thing right now that is keeping me just so entertained. And all of a sudden they're at a nice outdoor table with 2 cocktails. Y'all, this show is so damn random. Like, was that out back? Like, taxidermy in the front, like bar out back? Like, what the hell? They sit down and they start talking, and this is where Kendall's kind of going over who he's gonna meet. He asks, okay, what should I really expect? I think my family will be skeptical, to be honest, but they'll ultimately be respectful to me and how I'm feeling. He's looking quite shook. But you know, he agrees that he's excited to meet her family. So now we are at Kendall's home in LA. We see her entire family. Now, y'all, when she said sister, I didn't know that she was talking about an identical twin. That shit freaked me out, y'all. Like, they pop up and the girl is just like her face on another human. And funny enough, her twin's name is Kylie. So Kendall and Kylie. I'm just like, y'all were the official Jenner sisters before the Jenner sisters even were a thought of existence. Like, go ahead, Kendall and Kylie. So we get to talking, and Arie actually sits down at this, like, I think they're around like the kitchen counter, and they're all sitting, and he was just like, you know, they were telling the family about, oh, you know, we were just in Tuscany and this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. I was on a date. And then he says, I really just started to fall for her a little later. And they're looking at him like, okay, but you're here to meet us? Like, sir, why? I'm just looking like, clock him, ask him all the questions, make him uncomfortable, say no, yes, everything. Yes, this is what's got me in this. I'm like, I want all of the dads to give him like the meanest mean look. Ask him all the tough questions, like, yes, clock his ass. Kendall talks to her parents, and she just, you know, tells them how she's feeling. I'm falling for him. You know, we had a really good time last week. Like, I'm just excited. And they're looking like, okay, y'all haven't really had enough time. Are you sure? She's just like, yeah, I really want to see where this goes. So they agree that if Arie were to ask for the hand, they would put it off and say, as long as she is with it, they're okay with it. So then we see Kylie actually talking to Arie. She's not even trying to like fluff him, or, you know, you want some tea, you want some water, you want a nice seat. Like, she just like, have a seat. Why do you think it's gonna work out? And he's just like, I think she made it this far because she is so different, and because, you know, I was open to that, and I could see that she's just this amazing girl with this amazing heart, and it's just clear to me this is someone that I could see a future with. And then her sister's like, okay, you could see a future, but how? I feel like when y'all walked in, there was a little bit of space between you. Like you weren't all the way there. And she says, is it because you're still getting to know each other, or is that just how y'all are? And he's like, I beg to disagree. I don't think there's any space between us. I actually feel like I'm falling for your sister, and I don't see like what you're saying about us. Her sister's just like, oh, so you're falling for her? And he's like, yeah. And she was like, okay. Kylie she ain't here to sell her sister. I think actually Kylie low-key was trying to sabotage, not sabotage, but she peeped and she was like, I want this for a brother-in-law. I'm sorry. So she goes and she has a conversation with her sister Kendall, and she says, Kendall, what's tea, sis? Kendall's, you know, I really like him. And Kylie, like any true nice sister, was like, girl, no, you not. Kylie looked at her like, you ain't falling in love with him. I know you. Like, girl, bye. So Kylie asked her, okay, so do you think that this is something like a marriage type of thing? Like after this, y'all get engaged? And Kendall, this is where she's like, yeah, no, I don't think an engagement, but I would definitely, you know, want to continue like seeing him outside of this, but I'm not ready for an engagement. And then Kylie says, okay, are you falling in love with him? And she's like, well, Arie told me he's falling in love with me and I didn't say it back. Then Kylie was like, girl, that's a red flag. I was just like, Kylie, get her out, get her out, get her out, get her out. She does not need this man, get her out. She was just like, no, you're right. But she was like, I just really like him and I just want to keep going and I want to see this through. And Kylie was like, okay, sis, like I tried. Okay, go ahead and learn the hard way, sis. Go ahead, sis. That's like, that's how she looked the whole time. So then we're back with the total family package. What we just kind of gathered is that Kendall is not all the way in love with him. She hasn't fallen in love with him, but she says to her family that she wants to keep dating him and she can't imagine losing him. So it seems that that's good enough for Arie. Arie, as he's walking out, he's hugging her so tight. He's kissing her. He's all up on her and is just saying, this was so good. I was so happy to meet your family and I'm going to miss you. And I'm just like, okay, like, seems like it went okay for Kendall. And it seems like it was worth her making it to this point because we got to meet her family and we got to see some people, you know, really drag Arie's ass. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed them putting the pressure on him. Like, that was great. So now the second hometown, we are in Weiner, Arkansas with Tia. Now, Tia, she angered me last week, honestly. Like, I can't even pretend like I'm excited to talk about her or do any of that because it's so sad when someone just falls right in front of you. Like they're up here and then they just, like in a matter of seconds. And I usually try not to like hold something against someone, like give them ample opportunities, but I just think that y'all know that I don't vibe when people throw other people under the bus. I was not feeling how Tia was acting last week, and it's very hard for me to root for her, to be honest. We see Tia in Weiner, and we see the board that says welcome to Weiner, and it says like a population of 719. I'm like, damn. Shout out to all y'all small town people, because how do y'all do it? Like, I just feel like I could. 700 and like my high school was bigger than that. Damn. Damn, that is small. We see them meeting up with each other. She runs, he runs, they hug. I'm like, okay, cool, y'all cute. Don't be petty. Don't be petty. Don't be petty. She's like, welcome to Weiner. We're gonna have a great time. So the first thing we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be driving race cars. So I think Tia, being smart, was trying to find something that she thinks will really excite Arie and kind of get her ingrained in his mind and make sure that this hometown goes without a hitch. So they go and they start driving these race cars. They actually get in. And Tia is mentioning that she's not really feeling this. She's kind of scared. She's like, well, I don't like this. I don't really like this all that much. But he is dumb excited. And I'm like, it's kind of cool to see Arie super happy and in his element. It's cool. It's cool to see him get this moment. I'm not even hating about it. So they get in and Arie is just who around the track. I'm like, you not even trying to like entertain this girl, you know, maybe like drive side by side, hey, you know, have cute, he's not about that. He's like, Tia who? Yeah, I see car, I go. Like, he's just like man and car gone. Like, he ain't here for Tia. He's like, thanks for setting this up. Tia's going like 5 miles per hour on the inner track, like, and as he like circles her, I'm just like, this is so funny. New plan, sis, we gonna need a new plan. You could have showed him something else in Wiener that would have made y'all have to talk and have face-to-face conversation, but okay. Nice try, sis. Didn't really work out. He had fun. You got left behind, and maybe that's going to be a foreshadowing of the future. They reconvene. He starts asking her, you know, who am I going to meet at the hometown? She tells him, you're actually going to meet my dad, my mom, and my older brother. And she says the person to really look out for is my older brother because he's quite protective of me. And, you know, we have a really good relationship. And he's probably going to be the one to ask you the tough questions. The door opens and everyone warmly greets Arie and Tia. She's super excited to see her mom and dad. She's really all over them. And it's a really cool, warm moment. We see the parents in the confessionals kind of talking about how they are skeptical. The only thing they know about Arie is what they've seen on the internet, and that they're hoping that meeting him will kind of give some clarity as to what's really going on and why Tia is still involved in this whole process. So we see that Arie actually sits down with Tia's dad, and the first thing that Tia's dad is talking about is just like, you know, tell me, why are you interested in my daughter? And he's just like, I see that you raised such a strong, independent woman. She takes no shit. She gives it back to me, and it's just something that's really attracted me to her. And the dad is like, oh, okay. He's like, that's nice and everything, but you got this, like, you got this player, you know, bad boy reputation on the internet, so speak to that. And he's like, you know, that's not really me. I'm labeled as that because I was on the show a long time ago, and after that, of course, I dated and I was kind of living a wilder life, but I'm so ready to settle down now, and I'm really interested in your daughter. And then, you know, he says, if it's her in the end, will you allow me her hand in marriage? And dad is just like, if Tia wants that, I will support it. And I'm like, okay, dad. But the one thing he does leave Arie with is that if you hurt my daughter, I will find you on Google. This is what I've been waiting for. This man is so, bless his heart, I can't. He said, I will find you on Google. He had to make sure he knew the source he would find him. And you know, Google is the biggest search engine on the World Wide Web, folks. Sir, I will find you. I will find you on the internet, the new school way, and come for you. Do not try my daughter. I was like, thank you, people, because this guy is not serious. Arie is not serious, and I need people to clock him. Like, this is the best part of the episode. Like Tia's dad, he gives points for Tia, because I was like, that was funny as hell. Then we see Arie talking to Tia's older brother, and this is who Tia mentioned would be kind of the hardest to get around. And the first thing that Tia's older brother says is like, you have a player reputation, just like her dad. That's kind of all I know about you. And Arie's like, yeah, same thing. Like, yeah, I had some years in my life where I wasn't all the way ready for marriage, but now I'm totally ready, and that's not me. He's like, what about the kissing bandit thing? He's like, I got that nickname on the last time I was on this show, and it's just kind of stuck. He's like, that's not something that I would worry about. I'm really a stand-up guy, blah, blah, blah. The brother's like, I really, you know, haven't always been there for my sister, but now I feel like I have that opportunity. We're really close now, and I'm very protective of her. Is this someone like, are you really into her? And Arie's like, yeah, I'm really into your sister. She's just super amazing. I'm so impressed with her. Dropping like these, I'm so impressed with her. I'm so intrigued with her. She's so strong. Again, when these guys and these bachelors start using those type of descriptive terms, it doesn't really, to me, signal well that they're feeling like emotionally tied to you. It's just a bad sign for the falling in love with you part. It's like they love you, but not like in love with you. Like, they're not in love words. So that's concerning, but that's what he tells her brother. And it seems like it suffices for the brother, because he's like, yeah, you're actually not a bad guy. Like, pretty cool. And they end on a good note. So obviously we see Tia talking to her parents. She tells them, I told him I'm falling in love with him a few weeks ago. I'm really falling for this guy. He just makes me feel so secure. He's so different from the other guys I've dated in my past. And this is someone who I feel like is reciprocating what I give out and have given out all these years. They're like, okay, how does he compare to your ex-boyfriends? Like, on the level of trashness, where does he fall in this level of trashness? And she's like, I mean, I dated, a lot of trash. He's like, just like a tier above those trash, you know what I'm saying? He's still trash, but like, he's better than the trash I dated before. And they're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So we're good with that. So they ultimately agree that they like his energy and they're okay with him, and that, if this is what she wants, they will definitely support. So that's kind of the end of Tia's hometown date. It looks like as they're leaving, she's all up on him. I'm pretty sure she says she's in love with him. And he was just like, I can't always communicate how I'm feeling, but I really appreciate you telling me this. And I just really appreciate you. And he's hugging her. And she's just like, I'm going to miss you so much. And he's like, yeah, I'll miss you too. I'm like, it's not going... If y'all are critical like me, you will notice that the way he left Kendall was I miss you. He was telling her that. The way he's leaving Tia is she's giving up all of these like, I miss you, I love you terms, and he's not really reciprocating any of it. He's kind of finding ways to not have to do it. So to me, I think it went okay, but I'm wondering how solid is this connection, and is Arie as into it as Tia is? Not sure, we'll have to see. So the third hometown date is with Becca K. Becca K, y'all know I mentioned her as the safe choice. I feel bad for saying that. I don't feel bad because it's not that she's like not a good woman. I think she's an awesome woman. She's Midwest woman. We stick together. I really do like her vibes. I like who she is. She's an independent, smart woman. But with her and Arie, I just don't feel this crazy, like fiery chemistry like I saw him with some of the other women in the past that have gone home. And so that makes me think that it's just not all the way there. Obviously, I'm comparing. I just think the two of them together don't have this crazy chemistry. But because she's kind of everything he's looking for, he thinks about the potential, and so does she in a way. So together they make each other's safe choice. But it doesn't take away from who I think Becca is as a woman, and I really think she's cool and down to earth. So I'm excited to kind of see her hometown in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So they meet up, and she's actually outdoors looking, looking around, looking real cold. I'm like, Arie, I hope you're prepared. You from the dry ass heat of Scottsdale. You are coming to one of the coldest states in America. You better bring your damn thermal and winter coat. Do not play with Minnesota. They're going to be apple picking. So Arie looks excited to just be able to spend time with her outdoors and bond with her over this. So they're picking apples and they're having, little conversations and having cutesy moments. And it's looking like they have, again, a very honest and cute connection. It's very cute and like funny and sporadic, and it's cute to watch. It's not engulfing, but it's cute. So they reconvene after picking their apples, and she tells him who he's going to meet. She says, you're going to meet my mom, you're going to meet my Uncle Gary, and a few other my extended relatives. And she's like, my dad passed, so Uncle Gary is kind of like the father figure in my life. So that, I would say, is the person you really need to wow, the person you really need to get in good with. And he is like looking shook. He's like, Uncle Gary? She's like, yeah, he's a pastor too, so good luck, sir. He's like, well, what do I say? Any tips? I'm like, Arie, you are a grown-ass man. Say, like, use your brain. Say what you're feeling. Say how you're thinking. Like, to just be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do I say? Like, what am I supposed to tell you? Like, they approach Becca's house, and we see Uncle Gary is looking quite angry. He is looking like he is ready to drag for the filth, and I am so prepared. They come in and everyone greets them quite warmly. It's a very nice, warm setting, very Midwestern feel. You know, Midwestern nice. Everybody's nice to him up front. They're saying hi, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, oh, this is kind of cute. It's a very homely vibe, and her family comes off very welcoming and open. So they split up. Arie talks to Uncle Gary, and Uncle Gary is obviously the one who is going to set Arie's ass straight. And Uncle Gary's just like, what are your intentions? He's like, I have to fill this spot of like the father in the situation. And he tells him about her dad and who he was as a person. And he starts, you know, getting teary-eyed thinking about it. I'm like, this is so, it's just that human moment where you're like, it's really sad. You can see there's still a lot of pain within this family, but still a lot of love there. And I could see what attracts him in a sense to Becca here. You know, it's just where she comes from. It's a very wholesome and sweet home. So he is just like basically giving him the backstory of her dad and who he was as a person and what he did and how, you know, what he would be looking for his daughter. And so he starts asking him, why do you like Becca? Like, why Becca? And he says, I like Becca because she is just such an incredible woman. She is so true and honest. She is just so passionate and like such a good person from the inside out. And I just have been falling for her for a while, and I can truly say that I'm falling for her. And that's why it's so important for me to meet you. And I just want to know that if it's her in the end, will you give me her hand? And again, this uncle says that I will give you her hand if Becca feels that way. I'm very leery about it, but if Becca's okay with it, then I guess so. All in all, Uncle Gary is just being quite tough on Arie and just saying, Arie, you know, you seem nice, but she is too good of a woman and she's been through too much. So definitely take that into consideration when you're comparing her to these other women. Like, she is just different. And Arie just agrees and just leaves it off on the note of like, I promise to treat her well and do her right. So I'm like, okay, seems like it went okay with them. And then we see Becca actually talking to her mom, and she's telling her mom, man, Mom, I don't know how this happened. Like, I started falling for him early. We had the first one-on-one date, and I didn't think this would be me, but we're kind of here now. Like, I'm really into him. And her mom is like, it's been such a short amount of time. Are you sure this is the guy for you? Like, are you positive? And Becca is like, yeah, I know it sounds crazy, Mom, but I really like him. And she's like, Mom, if he proposes to me, like, would you give him my hand, basically? And her mom was like, no. Y'all, these parents are my favorite. She looked at her mom, she said, oh, okay. That is what I like. Honestly, Becca, I really like her. Just seeing how she didn't even, like, no argument. She didn't even argue with her mom, try to reason. She just said, oh, that's how you feel? Like, okay. Like, not much I can do there, kind of thing. She didn't even try to argue. But I think that she goes back, then her mom kind of goes back and says, I don't think so. I wouldn't be cool with that. But again, you're a smart woman and I trust you. I trust the decisions you made and will make. And I would just have to support that. So, you know, the no kind of turned into the, it's on you, sis. But I respect how Becca, you know, was so, it just opened my eyes to see, wow, Becca is really like a very wholesome, very good woman. I was just like, good morals, good manners. Like, I'm very impressed with Becca. So those are what I took away from this part of the hometown date. So then we see Arie actually talking to the mom. Now we know the mom just kind of told her daughter, like, sis, I don't think I would accept it, but do you, boo? So she's talking to Arie, and Arie's just like, I'm really falling in love with your daughter. You've just done such an incredible job. I can tell she really loves you and missed you, and I know she really misses her dad. She talks about both of you all of the time, and you just did an incredible job with her. And I think this is really warming the mom up. She's like, okay, tell me more, like he's saying all of the right things in this moment and kind of winning her over. And she's just like, wow, I think in this moment she's like, okay, I could see why my daughter, you know, feels like she's falling in love with you. And so she's like, wow, thank you so much for coming. I can see how happy she is. And honestly, that's all we can really ask for. And I just, you know, we'll kind of see how it goes. But you did really well with my crazy family, my weird family. And thanks for, you know, coming in and being so good with us. And so that conversation actually goes really well, despite the fact that her mom said nah before. It looks like she's just saying, nah, you know, she's not too tied to the note. It ends on a good note. So pretty good for Arie at this point. So the hometown is pretty much over. We see Becca walking him out. And of course, they're hugging so tight. He is all up on her and he's just telling her, I'm going to miss you, blah, blah, blah. Like, this was a really good day. I'm so glad I got to meet them. You know, I was nervous for Uncle Gary. And even though he threatened a bit, ultimately it went pretty well. So it's looking like Becca K and him, even though I call it a cutesy connection, it's looking like it's not doing too bad. And everything that's kind of made Becca who she is, I'm more clear on who Becca is as a person, I think. And it makes me, you know, really excited to root for my fellow Midwestern girls. So I'm not mad at Becca. Like, go Becca. Becca and Kendall, I'm more excited to watch. Let's just say that. So now is our last hometown date. Y'all, it's with your girl, y'all fave, y'all girl, Lauren B. Now, what we know of Lauren B is that she's quiet as hell, she's dry, she's boring to watch, and but somehow she's got Arie shook. So I'm just hoping that this is not a silent hometown date, because with them two together, you never know if you'll get any words. They meet up and she's actually from Virginia Beach, Virginia. So they're on the beach. She runs up to him, hops into his arms, and he, y'all, I don't know what it is, but when I see them together now, ever since 2 episodes ago where they had that real awkward date in Paris, now it just seems like they are just damn near boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, every time they see each other, it's on sight. Like, she runs, she jumps all up on him. He's holding her so tight. I'm like, who is, like, where did this connection come from? I'm like, I don't see, like, what does she have? I don't know. I just don't, like, there's nothing about her that's striking, that's interesting. Like, I'm just like, what? I'm trying to find, like, the light bulb moment, and it hasn't happened. So I'm really hoping in this hometown I connect, like, where she comes from to, like, what she brings to the table, and, like, it makes more sense, because up until this point, it hasn't. But anyway, she jumps into his arms and she's all over him, and she tells him that we're actually gonna be horseback riding on the beach. I'm just like, okay, like, who come? Is this what y'all got to do in y'all cities? Like, no shade, but if they come to my hometown, we are turning up. Like, you gotta come through with the come through, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like these dates are so, like, Bachelor. They don't really represent the city that they're trying to show off. I don't know. Weird. They start riding these horses on the beach, and you know, it's pretty silent, but it's not like the awkward silence. It's kind of like just like the we're focusing on what we're doing silence. So I'm not gonna drag them for that. So now they're done with the horses and they're on the beach, and he's asking her, you know, who am I going to meet? She's like, you know, you're gonna meet pretty much the whole family. You're gonna meet the mom, the dad, and all the extended family relatives. And he again is looking shook. I think it's quite similar to how shook he looked when Becca was telling him who he was going to meet. So this is kind of like, to me, those were the ones he seemed to really prioritize, because he's asking, he's like, okay, what are the things that would be like a no to do, and what shouldn't I say? And she's just like, be yourself. He seems to be very, like, taking this very seriously, meeting Lauren B's parents and family. He seems like he is very scared. And I'm like, Arie, I don't know what type of family we're gonna meet, but I'm like, Arie, you should be. So we see them approaching the house. Now, this house is huge, y'all. It's like really big, front lawn, and it's just like, what's the style? I think it's like colonial style. I forget the house style, or Venetian. It's just flat in the front. It's just a big ass brown house, y'all. And the first thing I thought to myself is, this girl got some shmoney. I think once he saw the house, he said, oh, this is a nice house. Okay, last minute, what do I say? Arie is so shook, and I'm living for it. He's so scared. Like, how is the most timid one got you shook? They enter and he's just like super nervous, like super nervous. And when he walks in to that house, they are more like, they're not like the like run up to you and give you all of this like attention. They're just like, hi. So they hugging Lauren, Lauren's hugging everybody, and they don't offer hugs to him. Some of them, they just, the handshake. They're very distant. You could tell that they like need to fill you out before they like let you in. Like they was not huggy, screamy. They were very refined people and very like, I was getting like judgmental vibes, to be honest. And when I saw the whole family sitting together, my first thought is, these folks voted for Trump. I don't know why I thought that, y'all. I'm just being honest. I just said, I don't know. I wouldn't do it. That's interesting. They start sitting around the table, this big ass table with so many relatives, y'all. And Arie and Lauren are sitting next to each other, and they're like, oh, we just came back from Tuscany. They're trying to tell the family like, oh, how they've been doing. And he's just like, oh, Lauren is so great. We had such a great time. We really progressed our relationship forward. After they say all that, they're looking at each other like, and the family is quiet. Like, it was dead silent at the table. And you could see Arie, he was just like, okay, think of something, Arie. Race cars, real estate. What else do I know to talk about? Then the dad finally breaks the silence and he's like, Arie, have you ever interacted with a military family? He's like, no, this will be my first one. Yeah. He's like, no, never. The guy's just like, oh, okay. Strike number one in this dad's book. Then the second thing he said was, oh, do you play golf? And he's like, no, don't play golf. He's like, you're from Arizona and don't play golf? Arie's like, I know, it's like the mecca of golf and I don't play. No, I don't. I was just like, yep, this dad definitely voted for Trump. This is what you got to ask somebody who's about to try to marry your daughter. Do you play golf? Huh? Okay. Honestly, I felt bad for Arie in this moment. After he said he don't play golf, the shit got silent again. And then Arie was just like, oh, okay, tells Lauren, okay, I'll be right back. And he goes into the hallway and you can see him probably talking to a producer and he's just like, I'm really nervous. And in his confessional, he's saying, you know, I've done some really hard things. The hardest race track I've ever done is the Indy 500. And I would say that I was very nervous then. I was a 10. And now, right now, I'm an 8 on the nervous scale. I'm very nervous. This is a very uncomfortable situation. We're very distant from each other. Like, the vibe is different from the other ones I've had. And I'm like, Arie is finally getting into a family who is not going to take his bullshit, who is going to ask him, you know, whatever they want to ask him, and it's intimidating. So he comes back to the table, and this is where I think they realize, okay, like, the energy is a little different. Lauren is looking at them like, be a little more, you know, open about it, be a little better with it. And so they start asking a little bit more questions and just asking about him. So then they actually break aside and Lauren talks to her mom, and her mom is just trying to pick her brain, and she's like, Lauren, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you sure about this? And she's just like, Mom, I don't know why, but we're really into each other. And then her mom is like, is this someone you could see yourself marrying? Like, already? And she's just like, yeah, Mom, like, it is. Like, we have a really good connection. We have a really good relationship. I can't explain why or how this happened, but I'm falling for him. And her mom is just looking at her like, sweetie, no, why him? Of all the, like, you could tell her mom was just like, look at what he's wearing. This mom, this is like her worst nightmare. Why him? He does not fit the bill. You could tell her mom is like, why? We did everything right. Y'all know that gift, like the old white lady pulling down the curtains. Like, I feel like that's what I saw when I was watching it. Like, her mom was just like, why? So she's trying to listen to Lauren and be supportive. And that's pretty much that conversation. Then we see Arie talking to her dad. This is the tough conversation because that dad, he's a tough cookie to crack. you got to have something to connect with him on. So Arie thinks quickly and he says, okay, military golf, pick one and zone in and find something to connect on. Smart guy, Arie. He uses his brain. In this moment, he decides, okay, I'm going to talk about a time when I went to Iraq. It's like I actually went to Iraq when I was a race car driver with a few other racers, and we went around bases and just kind of hung out with the soldiers. And it was just a really good time to just volunteer and just hang out with them and just see how they're living. And the dad was like, you went to Iraq just to, you know, be around soldiers and show your support and show your appreciation? And he's like, yeah, I would do it again today. And his dad was just like, wow. He gave him a handshake. I was like, Arie, sir, I think you're in. Him bringing up this story out of wherever he found it in the abscesses of his mind. Good play, Arie. This was well played, because I think you would have not gotten anywhere if you had not come up with something to connect with this man on. So the man was just like, after that, he warmed up. It was like he was like, okay, we good. You respect what I respect. I'm cool with you. He was like, can I have your daughter's hand in marriage? And the dad was just like, if that's what Lauren wants, I will support it. And I was just like, who knew? Who knew that Arie could pull it off? He could use his head, his brain, his experiences, and finesse this dad in this situation. Who knew? And Arie talks to her mom, pretty much has a similar conversation. It goes a little bit smoother, but you could tell the mom is really not feeling Arie. She's just looking at him like, you are. She just gives me like bougie tease. Like, she just looks like she's like, we are way too classy for this type of guy. Like, I just don't think she likes him, not one bit. He's pitching to her like, really falling in love with Lauren. She's like, have you said that to all the other girls? He's like, no, I really haven't. And she's like, okay, so how do you really work this out when there's all these other women in the process? He says, you know, I kind of have to compartmentalize all of our relationships and how I feel about each one. She was like, so you can say that you really know that you're feeling this about Lauren and that you're really falling for her, and you haven't said that to the other women. And he said, no, like, I'm really falling for her and I have not expressed that to others. And she was just like, okay. I don't think nothing would have impressed her, but she said, oh, okay. That's pretty much the end of Lauren B's hometown. So she's walking him out. And again, he is all over Lauren. Like, if I were to rate like the goodbyes, I would say Lauren's at the top, Becca's second, Kendall's third, and Tia's fourth. Just the way he was hugging and just on them. Like, I was just like, damn, like he really was having a tough time saying bye to Lauren B. So that definitely went well. And we see him saying that he's having a really hard time picking, and it's going to be the hardest rose ceremony he's had to do yet. So he comes and he stands in front of the women, and he just looks like he is pained. Like, he just looks stressed, very pressed. He decides he needs another moment. So he leaves and he just goes in the corner. He's just breathing really heavily. I'm just like, Arie, sir, like, just come on with it. He comes back in. He says, oh, sorry about that, y'all. But this is really hard for me. And as he says that, he says, Kendall, can I talk to you outside? So we're just like, okay, what's going on? As he does that, I'm thinking, ooh, this is some tea. I'm like, at this point, I'm kind of figuring that Lauren B is safe, just based on all of the signs. I'm thinking Lauren B is safe. Becca, I'm thinking she's second in line to be safe. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, this means that Arie is really struggling with Tia and Kendall. So when he grabs Kendall outside, I'm like, either he's going to nicely send her home or he's trying to gain clarification. So when they sit down, it turns out he's trying to get some clarification. He says, are you ready for an engagement? And you could tell Kendall was like, oh, sir. She's so nice that she's just like, wow, I'm on the spot. I don't know if it's about an engagement necessarily, but I'm not ready to lose you. I love where we are. I love how I feel about you. I love how you make me feel, and I don't know what to tell you, but it's not an engagement that I can promise you. I can't promise that at this point, but I'm really feeling you. I'm really into you, and I don't know what to say, but I'm really here for you. And you could tell Arie is just looking at her like, oh, I just needed you to tell me that you would marry me. Like, that's all Arie cares about at this point. Kendall is not, she's not giving him that, but she's telling him, I'm into you, and I hope that's enough. Back in the room with the other three ladies, we see Tia is shook, y'all. Tia is not a dumb woman. We know that this girl is on here to be Bachelor. She's not dumb. She is noticing that if he pulls Kendall outside, that means that she knows she's at the bottom of the totem pole at this point, but I think she's thinking, okay, I'm 3 and then Kendall's 4, so Kendall will go home. I think she thought for sure this is my, like, I'm getting a rose tonight. So when he pulls Kendall outside, she's freaking out. She's telling other ladies that means he's deciding between someone else. He's deciding between 2 people. Who is it? Is it you and her? Is it me and her? And they're just like, you could tell Becca and Laura were just looking like, bitch, we can't relate. We don't know. We don't know what he's talking about. I'm like, yes, you do. She's like, us 3 make the most sense. Like, I don't know about her. How does she fit into this? And I'm like, this is where, Tia, you're just making it worse for yourself. Like, why do you continuously decide in your mind what's best for him or what he should be doing just because of, oh, you're better than her, or you think... I think we all fell into that trap of, oh, Kendall doesn't necessarily fit the bill, but that's not fair. Like, she's cool as hell. Calm down. Like, you panicked, boo, because you might be going home tonight. Like, now you see how it really feels. And I think she knows at this point that her ass is grass. So Kendall and Arie come back in. Kendall gets lined up. Arie gives a rose to Lauren B, gives a rose to Becca, and the clock is running out. And he announces that the last rose will be going to Kendall. I'm not happy. I'm not rejoicing over the fact that Tia's hurt or anything. Like, that's not the point of this. I don't think that it's funny to, you know, laugh at these girls when they're hurt. I just think it's funny that she did some fake fraud shit last week to Becca M, and she goes home literally the next rose ceremony. I'm just like, so all of that was worth what? Another day? When you do clownery, the clown will always come back to bite you. I'm just like, so he's walking her out and she is crying. She is crying. She's putting on the biggest show I've ever seen, saying, what did I do wrong? He's like, you didn't do anything wrong. Why would you say that? You were perfect. And I'm just like, if it ain't clear to you that this girl came here to be Bachelor, I don't see how you wouldn't notice in this scene. Everything she was saying was so, like, you could tell. She knew in order to be Bachelorette, you have to express that you fell in love with him. Check. You have to follow up on that love. Check. Then when you get eliminated, you have to say, what is wrong with me? Cry into the camera. Make us feel like, oh, all of my past relationships haven't worked for me. What's wrong with me? I suck. Oh, blah, blah, blah. What did I do wrong? She knew everything to do for the formula of being Bachelorette. She did them. I peeped this, y'all. I peep it, and this is how she's ending. Wrap it up. I was not feeling any type of way. I'm like, wrap it up. Fake. It's rehearsed. It's a play. I was like, I'm not buying it. I'm not. Arie, you could tell he's just like trying to be nice and hug her and console her and tell her she's enough, and which she is enough, and she is a really good girl. And I'm not mad that she came on here to do this, but I'm just mad that she had to ruin her chance literally last week by doing clown shit. Like, if she didn't do that, I wouldn't even be mad at the whole like Tia for Bachelorette. But now I can't support it, sis. You've been exposed. You've been exposed, and it is what it is. The clown came to bite. I'm sorry. I would say, you know, it's sad that you're going home because your heart is broken, but I don't believe you really love this man. So I think you're gonna be okay. Once I get over what you did to Becca, I'll like you again. I just don't want you as Bachelorette for it. I wish you well. I really do. No hard feelings, but sorry, sis. That is the end of my recap. Again, thank you so much for watching, y'all. I'm so sorry that it's late, so many days late, but if you watch this, you already know you're the real MVP. You're the real one. Thank you so much for the support. If you have not subscribed, go ahead and do that now. Hit that subscribe button, and while you're at it, hit the bell so you're notified of when I upload these recaps. There's a lot of new episodes coming up. You do not want to get behind. You do not want to miss them. So please hit that subscribe button, like, and make sure you leave a comment. Leave a regular comment and also leave a comment so that you will be entered in my giveaway. Let me know what you thought of this recap, any interesting things that you found, and you already know I will see y'all in my next video. Okay? Y'all be good this week. Bye.